When most people think about moving to the East Bay, they immediately think of the big master plan, the developments with perfect rows of houses and community clubhouses. But if you're like most of the families I work with, you're looking for something with a little bit more soul. You want mature trees, the custom architecture, and the privacy that you can only get in an established neighborhood. Today, I'm taking you inside the top 3 established neighborhoods here in Castro Valley that actually have character that you've been looking for. But before we get into these neighborhoods, let me give you a quick word on Castro Valley itself, because it'll help put everything in context. Castro Valley is an unincorporated community in Alameda County, tucked right between the hills and the bay. It's one of those places that kind of flew under the radar for years, but families who discovered it never really left. You've got quick access to 580 and BART, which means you can get to Oakland, San Francisco, or even the South Bay without a brutal commute. And the schools, Castro Valley Unified consistently ranks among the top districts in all of Alameda County. That matters to a lot of families I work with. Now, a couple of things people absolutely love about Castro Valley. The small town feel that somehow survived being 20 minutes from a major city. The hills, the open space, and the fact that your neighbors actually know your name. Castro Valley has a real community identity, from the Castro Valley parades like the rodeo or the light parade to the farmers market. These are local events, or local pride is evident here that you just don't find anywhere else in the East Bay. Now, one thing I'll be straight with you. Inventory is still tight. When a great home comes up in the right neighborhood here, it moves fast. That's actually a testament to how much people love living here. But it means you need to be ready. If you're thinking about any of these neighborhoods, reach out to us so we can be watching the right home when it hits. Okay, let's start. Neighborhood number 1. And if you've done any research on Castro Valley at all, you'll probably already heard whispers about this one. It's the Proctor area, sometimes called Proctor Rockhurst neighborhood. Here's the deal with Proctor. Everyone wants to be here. And I mean everyone. The reason comes down to one word: school. Proctor Elementary is one of the most sought after schools in the Castro Valley Unified, and the families who are zoned to it know it. They protect it and they don't leave. But honestly, even setting schools aside for a second, I personally love this neighborhood just driving through it. One of the first things you notice is how clean and well taken care of the homes are. People here take pride in their properties. It shows. And here's something really special about the neighborhood, where you can actually let your kids walk to school. That's not something you can say about a lot of the places here in the East Bay anymore. Now, the terrain here is interesting. It's hilly, but it's not dramatic, steep, white-knuckle hills you'll find in other parts of Castro Valley. It's more of a gentle roll, which actually gives a lot of these homes a really nice elevated feel without making you feel like you need a mountain bike just to get to your front door. The housing itself is a real mix. Lots of mid-century ranch homes, the kind of homes that have been lovingly updated over the decades. They don't look like cookie-cutter houses anymore. Every block has its own character. It's basically a mature neighborhood. Again, the pros here, obviously you have your elite school zoning, walkable streets, well-maintained homes, real neighborhood pride, and a location that puts you close to the trails. The con, I've said it already, demand. Because everyone knows about Proctor, you are going to pay a premium, and homes do not sit. They move fast, sometimes too fast. So if Proctor Rockhurst is on your list, we need to be talking right now, not after you've spotted something on Zillow, because by then, it's usually already gone. Neighborhood number 2, and I'm combining another 2 areas that really complement each other: Parsons Estates and Lake Chabot neighborhood. Let me start with Parsons. What I love about Parsons Estate is the lots. We're talking about big lots, the kind of space that's genuinely rare when you're this close to a major metro area. And the neighborhood has this secluded, tucked away quality that I really appreciate. It doesn't feel like you're right on top of your neighbors. There's even a small park right in the neighborhood, which is a nice little touch. It just feels private, like you found something that nobody knows about. Now, Lake Chabot, honestly, what's there not to love? You are right there, right next to Lake Chabot Regional Park. And look, I'm an outdoors person. Hiking, mountain biking, and just being outside, having that kind of access, that's a huge deal to me personally. And when I talk to buyers who feel the same way, this neighborhood basically sells itself. You can literally walk out of your door and be on the trails. That's not something you can replicate anywhere else in Castro Valley. The homes in both areas tend to have more square footage and in some cases more land that you'll find in other parts of town. Some have been fully updated and are stunning. Others are a real opportunity for a buyer who wants to put their own stamp on something with great bones. So you have the pros: bigger lots, more privacy, that secluded feel, and unbeatable access to the outdoors. The cons,
because these properties vary so much in size and condition, values can swing pretty significantly from one home to the next. You really need someone who knows this area well to make sure you're buying smart. That's exactly where we come in, or where I come in. All right, neighborhood number 3, and I want to be upfront. This one covers more ground than the other two, and that's exactly the whole point. It's the main part of Castro Valley. Let's just call it the flat or the center part of Castro Valley. Here's what I love about this area for buyers: convenience and selection. Depending on exactly where you land, you are practically walking distance to everything. The grocery store, the Castro Valley marketplace, the bar, it's all right there. For buyers who want to be in the middle of the action, where you can actually live without getting in your car for every little errand, this is your neighborhood. And the variety of homes here is something you just don't get in more tightly defined pockets. You got bungalows, split levels, hillside homes with views, flat street level homes, perfect for families. It's all here. Whatever your criteria, there's a version of it in this part of Castro Valley. So again, you have walkability, access to shops and transit, and by far the widest selection of homes anywhere on this list. If you have specific requirements, bedroom count, style, price point, this area gives you the most to work with. The cons, I'll be honest about this, not every block is created equal. The character, the feel can shift pretty noticeably depending on where you are. Some streets are fantastic, some are just fine. Knowing the difference takes real local knowledge, and that's honestly why having the right agent matters more here than anywhere else on this list. So there you have it, the top 3 established neighborhoods here in Castro Valley. Proctor, Rockhurst area, if schools are your number 1 priority and you want a neighborhood that takes pride in itself. The Parsons Estates and Lake Chabot if you want bigger lots, more privacy, and access to the outdoors. And main Castro Valley if you want selection and the convenience of having everything right at your doorstep. Now, everything we talked about today is the established side of Castro Valley. The mature trees, the character, the neighborhoods that have been around long enough to really develop on their own, develop their own identity. But maybe that's not exactly what you're looking for. Maybe you want something newer, more of a planned community with amenities, the pools, the clubhouse, the tennis courts, the fresh construction. If that sounds more like you, you're not going to want to miss my next video because that's exactly what we're covering. And wherever you land on that spectrum, here's what I want you to do. Reach out to me and my team. Tell us 2 or 3 things you love. Tell us 2 or 3 things you absolutely cannot stand, and we will narrow it down not just to the neighborhood, but if it's available, maybe even down to the right street for your family. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send me an email. Let's find you your Castro Valley home. Hey, don't forget to check out my other channel, Savvy Homeowner. I give a lot of tips on how to protect your home's equity. Thanks so much.